because I wouldn't have. And I would just, like, grab your face and make you do it. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And you would have been trending on social media. Us too.
No means no.
Us too. You goddamn right. How'd you feel, sir? No questions.
Violated.
No questions.
Violated.
Nah, I'd be like, man, listen.
I gotta go.
I'll be back. They would have saw us like... I think that's it. Is that it?
It's not it. We're going to talk about Offset's dad.
We were doing so well.
What do you mean we were doing so well?
We recovered from...
No, this is important to me. We've been talking about this like every episode.
The saga of Offset
and Cardi B.
And Cardi B.
It makes sense.
What?
Like what the dad says, to sum it up into a smaller package. Basically, he was saying that Cardi posted the picture of Culture out of spite, which of course she did. She did it the post after her divorce post. Like, you've been holding out, and then he dropped the bomb that she was supposed to be released on his album. His new album, his single, his debut.
The album cover was supposed to be the
album.
Picture of,
and he hasn't dropped the album, I don't think. Now.
I really, and I know this is a real family.
Like, the whole family was banished from posting any pictures of her. Not one fucking picture leaked. Not one. And she's like, we getting a divorce. Bam. There's the baby.
Culture.
Like,
I don't agree with people using kids. I want to be very...
No.
Straight to the
like,
point
with that.
Like,
doing? Like,
that's
what are
not
you
cool.
doing?
Can we read the actual...
The post that the dad said? Yeah.
Do you have it?
Yep.
Because I want to... When I heard it...
You ready?
You know, and I think this is good that we keep track of this thing. At first I was like, why are we... This is fucking stupid, but whatever. But,
it's out there.
No, but that's why I'm like, you know what? This is actually... I'm like, we're watching people's lives. Like, we're actually watching a real... This shit happens every day. Like,
people are... This is
there's a
really,
whole courthouse for this. Like,
this is a really good way to see how people really are. Because everybody is so public nowadays that, like, you can literally know the ins and outs of... I mean, you don't know everything, but, like, you can see a lot.
Sure.
You know, and you see a lot from a lot of different people, and it teaches you about people.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
It's not a good thing, typically, but...
That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm on board. We'll make a good conversation about it. Fuck it, let's roll. So, please.
All right. So, Offset's dad said, I'm just getting off a flight from LA to Atlanta. I want to thank the brothers that... This was to his, like, fraternity or whatever. The group there. I want to thank the brothers that cared enough to identify my family situation being played out over the news and made a point to curtail it. I also want to thank the ladies for your support as well, and the one that told me to not go in the group when I got off the plane. Unfortunately, I had already read the post and every sub. Right now, my family is going through a very tumultuous time. What you see in the media is only the tip of the iceberg. Social media is a powerful tool, but certainly no place for family situations, which he's putting out there.
I was going to say is contributing to, but go ahead.
However, our youth, specifically my son's wife, doesn't understand that. She seems to want to take everything to social media without regard to the devastation it has on others, past, present, and future, or specifically what it does to the other children. I say this not to say...
Hey!
I know. It was hard to say it that way. I say this not to say that my son is innocent, as he has done his share of dirt, but the whole scenario is a never-ending drama session. It's a tick for tack, but I always thought it was tit for tat, and that really annoys me. Anyways,
I don't know.
Tick for tat.
I don't know what they do down there.
I'm from Florida, so it's the same.
You're not rolling in the panhandle over there.
Yeah, nah. It's a tick for tack. But anyways, I'm easily annoyed. Mudslinging situation fueled by jealousy, envy, insecurities, psychological issues, drugs, etc., etc. Drugs, etc., etc., etc. While one
I don't like the drugs. I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what do you mean drugs, though?
Because especially when he says being played out on social media, like
Right.
that contributes to it. Because
Right.
now I'm like, wait, what?
Right. Like, oh, I'll get everybody's side. While one may believe that celebrity life is good, open to scrutiny, and is fair game for jokes, insults, etc., it is different when that stuff is in your face every day. It is depressing and tiring. People do and say hurtful things about my family members daily, specifically my child. While he ain't perfect, he is mine, and as a parent, I have a duty to protect him. Right now, I cannot do that. Like most young adults, he doesn't always do what he's advised to do, but we are talking about a 25-year-old with an unlimited supply of money, women chasing him, etc. He said that, I'm assuming this was because of Cardi B, but recalls a horrifying episode where his home was raided by federal agents and his daughter came home to a blocked off street where agents were waiting with guns drawn. Woodward also bitterly recounts what happened to the family when Cardi, 26, which again, she's young too, which you talked about, released the Instagram video in which she declared she was divorcing Offset.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why, like, whenever you say the age, it's like,
they're kids.
this is crazy.
Woodward said his phone blew up nonstop, and she released the first pic of baby Culture to spite his son. Last week when Cardi posted the divorce video, I could not get any work done, blah, 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 blah. She released the baby picture out of spite. It was supposed to come out in his album. She basically screwed my whole family over, that vowed not to release pictures to social media. Everybody's in an uproar, blah, 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 blah.
And, okay.
But that makes sense, but come on, man, your kid.
Now, see, that's where it's like, he told a lot of information, and
but I knew anyway. I knew something was up. Like, you don't just post. We talked about it.
Oh yeah,
not on air,
right,
but
sure.
like we talked about, like, why would you just post it all of a sudden? Like, something's up. Like, you just wanted to be the first one to post it. Like, and that was exactly what it was. But it was on a whole nother level. Like, she wanted to be the first one to post the baby instead of him having that moment for his debut album.
Now, see, that's where I'm like, when you do things like that, you can't
undo
take it back.
You can undo it.
And it makes me think of Pusha T, like, you are hiding a child. But, like, when Pusha T said that, like, you were hiding, and I'm like, wait, Drake this shit's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, Drake has a kid? Like, I got every Drake out. Like, wait, when did he mention that?
I don't remember that in the story.
He actually fucked up a lot of money behind that. You know, he fucked up a lot. He fucked up a rollout of like how DJ Khaled. See that now. This is where we get into the gray area episode, aka the hypocritical portion, which I'll get a soundboard for. But I just said, if you're gonna use your kid, like, when using your kid for bad, like how Khaled does Assad, I'm like, oh, that's legendary. Like, yeah, fuck it, roll him out. Like, you see, like we talked last Christmas episode, we talked about Macaulay Culkin. Like, if your kid has like a talent and just good at, knock yourself out. Like, go for it.
Set him up.
So I guess that's what Drake's intentions were, to roll him out. And do it, and Pusha T fucked that up, and that's when I was like, well, when rap beef, I'm like, wait, but he affected a lot of money. So fast forward to this situation, I'm like, wait, if you released the baby's picture on Instagram for free and fucked up a lot of money, but like, you were not thinking in the moment.
Album.
But you're not thinking in the moment, especially if y'all gonna be together again. Like, and I also realized, and I'm gonna disconnect from Cardi B for a second. At 30, like, I'm like, wow, you know, they always say women think they can change men, but me personally, like, as a man, men think they can change women too. I swear, like, at 30, I realized, I was like, damn, you know, I'm like, wow, us too. Like, because I look like, I really don't judge who's wrong, who's right in this situation. I'm not there. I don't be there.
Right, we don't know.
But I'm like, those things like that, it's like, damn, you know, that's not good. Like, if you did that, we can't. I've become sensitive in my time, in my feelings. It's like, we can't do that. If you're not thinking and you're that mad to not think at this point.
But if we're gonna break up, affects
right,
a long
term. No, even us. Like, if you thinking to fuck us up in the moment, That's not good.
No.
Because we still in the car together.
Right.
So if you want to crash this to get, I'm not rolling. Like,
No.
I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked
And even when the step Offset's dad, I think it's a stepdad, but I'm not sure. But he says it my son, so I know I'm rolling. But his dad saying drugs and I'm like, even when you say that, I just think like, why even bother saying that?
Right.
Because there's no amount of drugs. Like, I look at crazy shit like we saw, and I'm not comparing these two at all. I'm just throwing an example out here. We saw like Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston from the beginning, and I think that like, just we don't realize what happened. That ended tragically. Like that ended in a tragedy. Like, and Bobby Brown is still like probably heartbroken over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he and his daughter died. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
from the same thing,
the same way. Like, that's what I mean. We watched. They had a kid together that got old. Like, I'm like, wait, whoa. If this shit is real, like.
True, it's like the next.
You don't want. And that's the thing about being 30. Like, I'm good with patterns, kind of. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is like, hold on, what's going on here? Like, this sounds like, I'm like, is nobody else seeing this shit? Like, isn't this not the same story? Like, they didn't have tweets back then, but like,
true.
Dysfunction.
That's true. See,
dysfunction.
And the drugs thing, I was like, what are they talking about? Weed? Like,
when you say drugs, to me, you ain't talking about weed.
Yeah.
We don't like when you like drugs. If you are talking about drugs and talking about weed, you should be more specific because you're fucking taking everybody down the line. Like, when you say drugs to me, drugs is cocaine, drugs is dog food, drugs is dope,
crack.
Well, I don't think like you hope to think like, no, who smokes crack these days? Like, if you
Whitney Houston apparently did.
Come on, jeez, what's up with you? This is Christmas.
You took it there. I was just following
No,
along.
she did, but
okay, I'm just saying.
No,
like,
see that, but no, see that's the shit. That's where it's fucked up. It's like, and
you never know. And I feel like Whitney Houston was way further away from in my head. Than
No,
they
but that's
are.
what I mean. Like, crack is like, that's great. But in all seriousness, there's heroin overdoses happening every day. So it's shit that I'm like,
everything.
when you say drugs, I'm thinking the hard stuff.
Right.
So I don't know, because it's even real people.
Yeah.
It's real people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't like the public display of it, because it does get. I almost feel socially responsible. I almost feel like.
Yeah, and then I feel like for their benefit, like, you're letting negativity in.
Sure, and that's why.
And she started that shit a long time ago, though. She's always been like that, talking about I'm single before she'd announced she was pregnant.
Right.
And
that's
live.
what I say.
I was like, what?
I've been around like those roller coasters.
Yeah, like,
of certain kind of women. Certain women that I won't say certain kind of women, but women that do certain things. Like certain women that do certain certain people that do those patterns of like shit. That's like when you allow you push it out to the world for motherfuckers like me to be able to speak about it. You took it too far, kind of.
Way too far.
Like in that situation, it's like
not kind of. It's way too far. Way too far. We shouldn't know anything about all this stuff.
And that's what I mean. There's real people involved. There's a real kid involved.
Right.
So to me, it's like I don't know. I
feel like Offset should run.
And that's why I joked about it
like
before.
I go back and forth with it, but like I feel like they should just cut their ties and continue to do business together. And I don't know how long that would work out, but.
But I joked about it before, where I was like, I don't know, bro. You got to be sure this is the one, because you don't want to do all these public apologies, and then
it's out there.
2 years from now, you and your next girl,
right, in your face.
Yeah, right. It's in your face, and you can't even like now. Your "I'm sorry" is used up. You can't even use this for the woman you may really love, and maybe you're not perfect. Maybe you may fuck up, and you like, baby, I'm sorry, and. She's like, I've seen that before, bro. So I'm like,
put it on Instagram.
Right, exactly. So that's why I'm like, when you put things like that out there, people can always play that and replay that, and it doesn't mean the same thing in person, because it's like some shit you said on the internet, some shit you said to everybody, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
and that's where it's like, I'm not saying, like I'm not. And I see rappers and I see other motherfuckers like, oh, Offset or Cardi take Offset back. So, and I'm like, you can't speak. You can't tell her to take him back. You can't tell him to run. No. But it's like, I don't know, bro.
It's like watching like a car wreck or something. I don't know. It's just you can't like. You want to look away, but just.
And I'm sure we'll.
And once you get, if you take a dip in it, you're in it. You know.
Yeah, it's almost.
Or 2 dips. Once you get 2 dips in, then you're like, okay, now I have to know what's going on.
And it's see, that's the crazy shit. And one day, like I said, one day I'll do my family court episode. But had her. But I'm like, yo, I've been through this. I know a roller coaster when I see it.
Yeah.
Man.
It's
Trust
not going to
me,
end well.
This never works out. This is never good.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, I don't know. I wish him the best, I guess. But
so tell me about Fortnite.